All right, how you guys doing, man? And welcome to another edition of WhoDat Opinion. I am on my way back from work, headed back home. Okay, I mean, and that's when I get a chance to do stuff like this. So that's what I'm doing it. All right. So here we go, man. I'm the question I'm going to address today is, am I excited? I'm a Saints fan. Am I excited by what we were able to do in the draft? The draft just happened. All these stuff, all the grades are out. I think we're averaging about a B minus in some circles. Nobody's giving us an A because there's no like stellar pull that we get from this draft. But am I excited about what we were able to get? Right? I'm going to start talking what we were able to get. Yes, I am somewhat excited. Now let's kind of go through the picks. So in first round, with the 12th pick, we were able to get Sheldon Rankins. And I actually started to look at the defensive tackles that we were going to be able to be in play for. And that basically, that list was kind of short. It was like Ashawn Robertson. It was Ashawn, it was Jerry Reed, both of those guys from Alabama. And then there was Sheldon Rankins. There's a possible pull for Shaq Lawson. So I started to look at every single one of these guys, right? Even Kevin Dodd from Clemson. I started to look at all of these guys, start to look at their film, and start to really see what I'm getting myself into. And what I've recognized so far, sidebar, what I've recognized so far is that I'm not the only Saints fan who does this. All Saints fans, if you're like a real legit like football head, then you are, when you're looking at the videos, you're looking for the highlights, you're checking this out, right? And you're looking at the highlights and you're trying to imagine that person in the Saints uniform. So I've done that. I've been able to look at all five of those guys, right? And so from that, I got most excited when I looked at the highlight film for Sheldon Rankins. No lie. Like, I get excited about bouncy, energetic, just dominant inside rushers. I get the same thing about an outside rusher as well. Like, don't get me wrong. But those inside rushers who are able to just dominate and stay bouncy and happy and stuff. I mean, and when I say bouncy, I mean after you sack the quarterback, there's a bounce to your step. Like, after you chase down a runner, there's a bounce to you, right? And Sheldon has that. There's an energy, there is a bounce to him that says to me that he's a dominant player. It's the same feeling that I used to get when I used to watch Warren Sapp, right? It's this dominance on the inside, and I think this guy is great. Now, I'm just not going by the bounce in the step. Like, don't get me wrong. I also looked at his Senior Bowl stuff, right? And he dominated in those drills. Not actually the game, but in the drills, my God, he looked dominant. Like, he was crazy. Like, blip, blip, blip. He was in. Blip, blip, blip. He was in, right? And so he lived in the backfield back there. He embarrassed those guards. So, am I excited about him? Yeah, I'm excited. First round draft pick, I'm excited. Most people give that a B. I give that an A. Because I don't see another guy on the board who I wanted more than I wanted Sheldon Rankins. Was the excitement there for everybody? No, because so many draft pundits before then said that he would be that guy for us. So that's why everybody's not super, ecstatic about it or thrilled, but because we're not shocked, right? Because we thought that was going to be the case. It is the case, but I believe it's the best fit for us. I like Shaq Lawson. I really did, but I feel like he didn't have enough speed on the outside to warrant that pick for me. Now, granted, I may be wrong, and he may turn out to be a Terrell Suggs by the end of the day. I don't know. But for our system, for what I envisioned, I didn't see him like dominating the way he did in college. That's just me. So I do like his personality, though. Great guy. Anyway, so let's pull out that. We were in the second round. We're able to get Michael Thomas. Now, for the Michael Thomas pick, I wasn't super excited about that. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just not, right? I would have loved to trade back into the first, pull a Josh Doxson. But that, I mean, I'm saying my wish list. I don't know if that was possible. So I can't say that. Am I super excited about Michael Thomas? Man, he's not a burner, but, neither was Colston. Colston wasn't a burner. But we've had several guys who's supposed to come in here and be the next Colston, right? We're looking at one right now, Brandon Coleman. None of those guys have turned out to be Marcus Colston. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit, right? Brandon Coleman, for everything that he does in preseason, for everything that he does, during camp and get everybody excited, he doesn't thrill me. I'm sorry. I just don't see it, right? Like, not yet, anyway. So he just doesn't have that production. And I talked about this last summer. But anyway, so Michael Thomas, man, he is coming from Ohio State. They didn't ask him to be a dominant receiver there. He was their number one guy. He was the leader in that room. So I do like that about him. I like that leadership about him, right? His Twitter handle was Can't Guard Mike, right? I mean, with 700 yards, I don't know, bro. Seems like somebody can. But I'm not sure. You know what I mean? I'm not sure. Von Bell said he could guard him. So at least somebody can guard Mike, right? But anyway, I wasn't super happy about that pick. But it's okay. It's okay. Like in Drew Brees' system, you can turn out to be a great guy even with mediocre talent. I don't know for sure he's a mediocre talent. I'm not going to say that. But what I will say is he didn't thrill me. It wasn't like something I'm going to get super excited about, right? But that's just me. His hands, I do like his hands. Now, I saw him on Game Changers. I liked him there. I like this personality. It's kind of a cool personality. It's not crazy. It's kind of weird. In this interview with my guys from the Black and Blue Report, it seemed like it seemed a little weird. He wasn't like fully answering all the questions. It was cool. But anyway, man, I'm not super excited about Mike Thomas, but I saw people on TV, Saints fans, going nuts. So maybe I'm missing something. Because they said Michael Thomas, and people was like, yes, whoa, way. I don't know why, but they were super geeked about it. Now, I see nothing on his film that would indicate to me that he's going to be that guy, right? I got way more excited about Brandon Cooks. However, that's what they're saying, so that's whatever, right? So, for that one, I would give it like a C for me. I'm not super geeked about that. If he turns out better, I don't know. You know what I mean? I'll be happy. I'm a Saints fan. So, anyway, let's move on to later on in that same round, we were able to pick up Von Bell. Now, I do like that pick. Now, Von Bell was supposed to go in the first round according to a lot of mock drafts. So to pull somebody who should have went late first and get him in the early second, that's great. I'm super excited about that. I'm excited about the value because I always like value like that, right? The question is he going to be somebody who's going to be a turnover machine? With 8 interceptions, I believe he had last year, it seems to me that he's a ball hawk, that he's somebody who's going to go after the ball. Now, according to what I saw on ESPN, he's not a great tackler, but he came back and said, hey, I am great. I'm phenomenal at tackling. Now, you ask anybody, any prospect in the draft, they're going to say they're phenomenal at tackling. I mean, there's nothing they can't do, right? However, according to me, I believe that he is a ball-hawking safety, somebody who's going to be a leader at some point in our backfield, hopefully. Kenny Vaccaro, I love Vaccaro, right? But I don't know if in coverage he's dominant. He's not dominant in zone coverage. Man-on-man coverage, he's a lot better. But in zone coverage, he seems to get lost to me at times. And so hopefully Von Bell is somebody who doesn't get lost. Jarius Byrd is not somebody who's been dominant. He hasn't been a turnover machine for us at all. Like, he's been a bust or a disappointment a little bit, right? So I can't fully say that I'm super geeked or excited about that. But that's what I'll say right now. You know what I mean? I'll say that hopefully comes in. He's a great free safety, and he does something for us. He at least starts to generate turnovers. That's what we want from him. All right, let's move on. There's a guy named David with a last name I can't say, but he's from Canada, and he's been playing over there. I think it's Ottawa. I'm not gonna even try to. I'm gonna kill this guy's name, but I think he is awesome, man. Like, and why do I say he's awesome? Because we did move up in the fourth to get him. Where we came back in the fourth round to get him. Why do I say he's awesome? Looking at his film, and seeing what he was able to do there, I liked his film. Actually, his film looks good. But he looks like he's missing stuff. And if you understand what I mean, he looks like he's missing that very last bit of polish that's going to really create a dominant defensive lineman. I don't know if we play him inside or on the out, like on the outside as a defensive end. But at the very end, I believe that he's somebody that we can get excited about. He's a project. But he's a project with stupid amounts of potential. Why do I say stupid amounts of potential, right? Mostly because a lot of people have said there's stupid amounts of potential. If I'm be dead honest with you, right? What I saw on film is somebody who's strong and who can dominate at the point of attack. That's what I saw. What I saw is somebody who is relentless when they're going after the pass rusher. after the passer, after the quarterback. I like that. And also what I saw is just a big piece of Clay, who's not out of shape. He's not out of shape. He's fit. He's a fit 300, and he's somebody who looks like he can dominate. Not right now, but maybe in a few years. But they say they're going to play him this year. I would love to see how he compares to a Tyler Davison, who I truly liked and believed in last year, or how he compares to somebody on the outside. I'm going to kind of ask these questions on Twitter, probably like to a Jeff Duncan or something, about this kind of stuff. I don't know how he compares to those guys, because somebody else was still on the board. Andrew Billings was still on the board, and a lot of people are saying that, if you're going to go with somebody, you should have went with somebody like him, right? However, they believe that this guy is going to be a difference maker, and I'm just going to trust Mickey and trust Sean on that and see what happens with that. Am I excited about the pick? If they moved up in the force to get him, he better play. He better play well, too. So he better play like a second rounder. That's all I'm going to say. Am I excited about it? Yes, I'm excited about that pick, because I want to see what happens. They're normally good about those kind of guys. And why do I say that? Akeem Hicks is why I say they're normally good about those kind of guys. All right. Oh, and another one, Delvin Breaux, who also came from Canada. That pipeline is starting to be really established. So I'm excited about what they think they see in this guy. All right, let's move on. So the last guy we were able to pull is Daniel Lasco, right? He's from, I think, Cal. His quarterback was Jared Goff. He's a special teams guy. A lot of people are like, why are we picking up a running back in the 7th round? And the reason we pick up a guy like this, according to what I saw, is because he's a special teams guy. He's been playing special teams his entire time in college. He's a 4-4 guy. So is he a returner? No, but he is a gunner. So he looks like somebody who can possibly be a good special teams gunner for us. And I don't know if you guys really watch games, and when you watch games, I remember at some point Jolene Dunbar was that guy for us. He would run down and make a big hit on somebody, and it would impact the game. It would change the way the offense or defense was playing at that time. The reason it would change is because it's like all of a sudden there's momentum being built from the special teams unit. So, and guys, I'm in traffic right now, and this is why this is such a good time. I was in traffic before, but now it's a good time. But anyway, Jolene Dunbar, I thought he kind of created a different type of vibe when he would go on the special teams and make big hits. We haven't had a gunner like that in a really long time. Some people say Travaris Cadet is going to be like one of those guys too. But I believe that this Lasco kid is somebody who's coming in to be one of those gunners for us, who loves to go down, loves to make tackles. Now, where do I see him fitting in the offense? Because there's a possibility that he can fit in the offense as well. There is, and the biggest possibility for him fitting in our offense is as one of those special Pierre Thomas guys. Now, why do I say that? He has hands. He has really good hands. And so now I haven't seen it, but I've seen comments where people say, he'll drop a ball every now and again. But for those screen plays, and that's what we're kind of missing a little bit. Even though Travaris Cadet, he's one of those guys who could be a receiver out of the backfield. It seems like it takes a special talent to be a screen guy. And I believe that this Lasco kid may be able to be a screen guy. Spiller hasn't been able to be a screen guy. For some reason, he's not impacted our team. And I think that's because he's not in his playbook. I know he's in his Bible because I follow him on Twitter. So he's in his Bible. But I don't necessarily know if he's in his playbook. I'm not sure. I don't know why he didn't get on the field last year. All I know is we paid money for him, and we didn't see the true impact. One game, one big play in overtime, we saw the impact, right? And from then on, I thought we would see it every week, but we did not. And I believe some people think that's a lot to do with injuries. I think that's a lot to do with him being able to integrate himself into the offense. And so that's my thought. Maybe in the second year, if he really excels this year, then I'll be more right than others would be. And I'm just going to say that. But anyway, so I feel like Lasco can play a role as possibly another Pierre Thomas, where he's somebody who comes in and he gets that spot. The question is, why, if we're going to draft a guy like that and he's just going to come in, play some special teams, possibly, do some screenplay, stuff like that, then why wouldn't we just kind of wait and then get him as a undrafted free agent and pull somebody else? Well, go back to the 7th round, because here's what I believe happened. Right? There are two guys on the board who would have kind of garnered great value at that. They would have been great value to pick in the 7th round. If you remember, at that time, Jalen Mills was on the board in the 7th, early in the 7th, and also Vidal Alexander. Both of those guys were on the board in the 7th round. So I think Jalen Mills went first, and then I think Jalen Mills went first, and then right after that, then Alexander came off the board, and then it was our pick like 2 picks later. So maybe there was a possibility that they went with the guard and Vidal, or they went with Jalen as a safety, as another safety. Maybe that was a possibility. Maybe there was a thought process before both of those guys came off the board, and then they were kind of left to make a best player available pick. That's my thought. I'm not sure about that. But as I watched the 7th round unfold, that's what I was thinking. And I was talking to, I was on Twitter, tweeting with Jim, I think Klein filter, something like that. I'm killing his name too. I'm horrible, right? This is why I don't get paid for this. This is why I just give my opinion. But anyway, so I'm on Twitter with him, and I'm saying, hey, look, these 2 guys are there. They're either supposed to be, Jalen Mills supposed to be a 2nd rounder. The other guy's supposed to be like I don't know. I thought Vidal was supposed to be like a 3rd or 4th rounder. They're sitting there in the 7th. What's going to happen? Like, are they going to go undrafted? And he said maybe the Saints pull him at that point, right? And before we were able to kind of even finish the Twitter convo, they had both been off. They were both off the board, and the Saints were on the clock. And they with that picked Daniel Lasco. So I'm not upset about that pick. If he really comes and contributes, he becomes a standout special teams guy. Those guys are needed, right? And if he also contributes in the backfield, that's needed as well, man. So that's a good pick for me. In the 7th round, for that value, he was a starter. He was a starter for Cal, right? He was a starter. Now, he didn't play as much as senior year because of injury, but when he was playing, he was a starter at some point. So I actually like that pick. He's another team captain guy, which I know they value. So I'm super geeked about that kind of stuff. So either way, do I like him as a player? Yes. Do I think that's a great 7th round pick? I give that pick, to me, an A. I think that's good. If you pull somebody who's going to play on special teams, be a really good special teams ace, and stick around for some years, I think that's an A for me. So now, it would have been an A+ if we could have pulled either Vidal or have gotten Jalen Mills. That's on me, okay? But now, let's go beyond that. Let's think about these undrafted rookie free agents. Now, there are some undrafted rookie free agents that I believe they believe in. There's one guy, he's a guard. God, his name is slipping me right now. But he is a guard who I think that he actually should have been gone in the 3rd or 4th round. That guy should have been gone 3rd or 4th round, but he was still around after the draft, and we got him, right? So by pulling him, I believe we make up for a lot of stuff that we may have missed in the draft, right? Now, we said that like last year, with a couple different people, they didn't all pan out. But at the same time, I believe that this guard can make it. Don't forget, a lot of guards who do make it are not always draft picks. There's some undrafted guys, but if they come in and they do well, they can be significant contributors to your team. So anyway, am I excited about what we got? Overall, I am excited. I'm excited about some of these guys. I think, and I mean most of these guys I'm excited about. I think they can contribute and add to our team. And I'm looking forward to their development. The one guy who I said I wasn't super geeked about was Michael Thomas. Hopefully, he shuts me up first few camps. Now, here's what I'm going to caution you on, right? Don't get overly excited about Sheldon Rankins in camp. He's going to dominate in camp. I'm just going to be dead honest with you. He's going to dominate in camp. Now, the question is, will he dominate Tim Lelito, and will he dominate, I forgot my other guy's name, but will he dominate him as well, right? So, there's a possibility he comes in camp and he dominates, because our guard play is suspect. Think about it. Our guard play is suspect. So, can he come in and dominate those guys? He may be able to. And if he does, which I believe he will, right? People are going to blow their minds. They're going to be, oh, he's the next Warren Sapp, da-da-da-da. I'm not sure of that. But don't get overly excited. I'm just going to put that cautionary tale out there, okay? Just don't get overly excited about what happens then. Wait. Hold on until he's done with preseason, and then you get a chance to see him go against some competition. See if he still dominates those guys. And then if he does, then we can start getting excited. Remember, there's no more chop blocking. So that puts a premium on your interior rushers, okay? No more chop blocking. So maybe those guys really start impacting the game a lot more. Maybe the value for them is much higher, okay? So that's just me. I'm putting that out there, man. I think the Saints did a great job. I love the aggressive style of the moving back up. They stopped that last year, but this aggressive style is great, right? I love when you go back up and get a guy who you truly believe in. Go get that guy. You feel what I'm saying? That aggressiveness was shown pre-draft when they were thinking about going to get my guy. Golly, do I need like some like ginkgo or something like that? I don't know. Something to help me remember words, because I'm forgetting all of them and names. But Josh Norman, bam, there it is. So Josh Norman, if you remember, they were thinking about going to get Josh Norman. They put an offer out. They were going to restructure Breeze's contract. They were showing that aggressive nature then. So in the draft, they just culminated that and showed an aggressive nature, jumping up to get two guys they super believe in Von Bell and this Ottagwe guy. So I like that. I like go get your guy. Go get your guy, right? And I believe in that. So let's see if that pans out. Hopefully it does. If it does, then we're looking forward to some great productivity from the safety position and from our defensive line. I think our defensive line is close to solidified. We need one outside pass rusher. We need somebody on the opposite side of Cam Jordan who's going to strike fear in the hearts of opposing quarterbacks. Is Kakaha that guy? Which should be one of my next things. Is Kakaha the guy to basically make quarterbacks fear our defensive line? They won't fear our linebacking core, not yet, even though Craig Robinson, I think, is a better player than we know about, because he's kind of been under the radar, right? James Laurinaitis, I think he'll get exposed in coverage a lot, but I do think he'll add a different dimension to our defense. And then Stephen Anthony, I think he'll be great for our team as well. He did great last year, over 100-something tackles. I think he adds something this year as well. The question is it possible to create a defensive line that people fear? Because we don't have one right now. Okay, so anyway, man, overall, am I excited? I would give the Saints a B+ on this draft, right? Actually, let me switch that. A- for me. A- for my Saints, right? I think we did a pretty decent job. I think we did the best that we could do. Best that we can do in this draft. And so that was it. I think the only thing that would have pushed this to an A or A+ is if we would have pulled one of those other guys in the 7th round. That would have been phenomenal to me. But anyway, that's it, man. That's my opinion, right? I'm a Saints fan. I can give that opinion, so I'm giving it, all right? And don't be swayed by this, whatever. It's not Boston, man. Somebody gave me this. I'm super blessed by it. Thank you so much. But I'm Saints all day, every day. You feel what I'm saying? Who that? All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one, man. It's been great. Thank y'all for riding along in my car. 22 minutes in Atlanta traffic. Y'all know what it is, man. Yeah, every day. No matter what time. All right? So, y'all have a good one. WhoDat, and I'm out.